So hey guys, Funky Fan Theories here. So the last Breaking Bad theory's reception was pretty bad, and I get why. Like I said before, I know that theory was debunkable. I shared it because, why not? Also, it was the only Better Call Saul theory at the time. Now, I have a Breaking Bad one for you here. It's a Breaking Bad only, it doesn't include Better Call Saul. So, I guess this is more of a speculation than a theory, but hey ho. Anyway, this comes from user a big fat phony titled "Walt does his last cook to keep Jesse from getting caught." However, I'm actually renaming this theory to "Why Walt touches lab equipment before death," because I think what the user focuses on isn't so important, but he does touch on a little detail which I am going to explain a little bit more myself and give my own sort of 2 cents to the theory and share my ideas. Anyway, so the user says, "Simple theory here," and I did a quick search to see if anyone else had this idea, but I didn't see anything. "I remember being in the Breaking Bad subreddit threads every week during the last season, and at the finale people were saying that Walter made his final cook before he died / passed out, because that is what he loved doing per his conversation with Skylar. Well, I just finished watching Metastasis, the Colombian version of the show. I butchered that, I know. And it made me reassess at the ending. I think what other people said is true, sure, but Walt made sure to do his final cook, so they would see his fingerprints and find him in the lab, hoping they wouldn't even think of Jesse at that point because they finally got Heisenberg. He saved Jesse's life, finally proving that in the end he really did care about Jesse, and his decision to cook again was at least partly influenced by the fact that he wanted to, and he also wanted Jesse off the hook." Now, obviously, this user is very wrong when he says that he had his final cook. He never cooked at Jack's lab anyway, and I don't know if he's mistaken or if he's referring to a different scene, but of course we know that Walter never had his final cook. But he does point something out very interesting, the whole thing with his fingerprints. Now, if you guys remember, Walt touches the gas mask, the boiler, and loads of other equipment. He just sort of leaves his fingerprints everywhere. He's just touching so many stuff. Now, I thought at first, obviously, we think it appears that he's just trying to he's reminiscing. He's just going over the good old times. But what if he's leaving his fingerprints to get Jesse off the hook? I love this idea. Now, Jesse was always seen wearing gloves at Jack's lab, so it's possible that there's no fingerprints of Jesse. We don't know, obviously, off screen. He may have, maybe eaten without the gloves on, so he may have touched like the table or something. So there might be some fingerprints, and I know for a fact that the database will have Jesse's fingerprints, so they'd probably be able to match them, but I'm not too sure. But maybe Walt touching up all the equipment is actually taking the blame instead of Jesse, and I really do love that. If that is true, that's just such a cool theory, and I think it'd be awesome. Now, obviously, he does mention that whole Walt passed out / died / passed out. Obviously, that's a whole theory that Film Theories did, which is a big theory channel, which is really, really cool, and it's totally a possible theory, I guess, but it's a bit crazy. I like to think Walt died in that situation, and it'd be pretty sweet if that was his intention. He was trying to leave his fingerprints to make sure that they believed he was cooking in that lab for Jack. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this theory. It's more of a speculation than a theory, I guess, but I call it theory anyway, because one, I want to be Funky Fan Theories, and I want to keep it strictly theories, apart from those 2 random tributes I have on my channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please tell me your thoughts on this theory, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.